Corey, what's up next?
We got some more crankbaits. These are the Sculpo crankbaits, the DR and the XD. Maybe talk about the bait design themselves and where the DR versus the XD kind of comes into play a little bit.
Yeah, so the DR, as you can see from the shape of this bait, now this bait is very opposite than the Revolt we just talked about. This bait, because of the lip design, has a tremendous amount of movement from back to back. I know Chris is a big fan of these heavier moving baits in warm water. This bait runs about 10 feet deep, easily on 12-pound line. I don't know what we list everything at. I give angler depths, okay, how far can you throw it and how deep does it really get is kind of the way I do it. But that's the design of this one. And it's a neat body design, has a lot of movement. So when the fish are wanting movement, that's what this one is.
Yeah, and if you can see, especially on this crankbait, it's not a crankbait that it's got a big belly, it's got big sides, or it's got a big back. You can see how slender it is, almost to the same size as a swim bait.
Yeah, we can show the camera. Yeah, go ahead.
Corey, you want me to throw
No,
it?
I'm throwing to these guys over here. Sorry, I'm trying to signal the room. Sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, that's one thing that I really like about this bait, and the amount of water that it moves. You can feel it digging down there, and then when it stops, that means something's loaded up on it. 90% of the time, it's a big old bass. So that's why this bait is really different than any other crankbaits, because it doesn't have the big belly. It doesn't have, the size, just slender like a swim bait.
Hey, Chris, Boyd mentioned that you're looking forward to throwing this bait in warm water. The first thing I thought was this is going to fill kind of the wart niche in a crankbait lineup. Is this primarily a hot water bait for you, or is this something you're gonna bring out in the middle of winter too?
Well, if you can see the color on it, I mean, it's a fantastic color. You're going to throw this in the winter. You're going to throw this in the summer. I mean, if they're biting, it's a bait that you're going to have tied on because of the depth change from, throwing this in 10 foot of water or throwing it and bouncing it off the rocks in about 6 foot of water when those fish are pre-spawning. So it's one of those things as this color right here in wintertime, you want something that is bouncing off of the bottom. You don't want something that's not getting there. So it's one of those things where it can be warm, it can be cold, but when you're throwing it, you just want to have something like this tied on the entire time, so you can cover all depths of the water from 10, 6 to 8, depending on when those fish are going to move.
Yeah, it looks like for all of the DR next. Is there someone else? Sorry, on Zoom there with you guys in the call? Maybe I'm getting some feedback. Are you guys the only one in the office on the call? Yeah. Yep. Okay. Getting some weird feedback. Okay, but yeah. So I was saying, it looks like they've got you covered from the 6 foot down the depths with that Sculpo. It's a pretty cool bait, and again, those will be available pretty soon here on Tackle.
Yeah. Excited to check those out.
Yeah.
So it looks like up next we've got the 110 suspending jerkbait, 110 and 95 DR. Can you tell us about those?
Yeah, and I apologize because I was looking at them individually, but and I won't spend a lot of time on that, but there's also the XD in the Sculpo. We didn't talk about that. That's the DR, that's the 10-foot runner, that's the XD in that same bait. As you can see, it's a small body, but a really deep. I fish this bait easy. I can hit 16, 12-pound line with this bait, and so you just have the same version in a deeper runner. So we've got the MR and the DR in those.